All right, so it is the case that Laura and I are very grateful to be here. So we wanted to start by saying we appreciate our new friends. And the topic today is to eat the seed. And if you eat the seed, you're eating the most nutrient-dense part of nature. And yet we throw away the seed. When we make lemonade, we drink the lemon, throw away the seed. When we have any of our fruits and vegetables, we typically eat watermelon, we throw away, spit out the seeds. But the seed has 20 to 30 times more nutrition than the rest of the fruit. So it's crazy that we throw it away. But the seeds have to be organic and non-GMO, because every time the living organism gets toxins, it stores toxins in fat tissue. So the tuna fish belly is where most of the mercury is. And the human being, when we lose weight, we feel badly often because we're releasing stored toxins, pesticides and stuff. In the plant, the toxin is stored in the oils, in the seed, because that's the oil metabolism of the plant. So everything I say today about eating the seeds, it must be organic and ideally non-GMO. This is the patient coming to me and saying, my wife says my hair is dirty. This is not a very serious complaint, but he had silver hair and he said his wife didn't like it because after eating the seeds, his hair is coming in blonde. She said, I want you to stop eating the seeds. He said, I haven't had blonde hair for 40 years. I'm going to continue. So you see, seeds have so much nutrition that even our DNA acts better. It's the best anti-aging medicine.
But which seeds, for instance?
Any of these seeds. Now, the seed is the most nutrient-dense food on earth. It's like eating the treasure chest, and it's full of oils. If the seed is raw, you have unadulterated seed oils, and we're mostly made of omega-6 seed oils. The revolution in nutrition today is to eat the seed. Everything is in the seed. Nutrients. Remember, you have a seed which is ready. All you need to do is add water, and it'll make a plant. It has all the trace elements in it. It's the perfect food. This is a diagram to show that just the seeds are more valuable than the fruit. But we all love sugar. So we eat the fruit, and we don't eat the seed because it's too bitter. This is an example of showing you how to eat the seeds. The benefits are you certainly get to have a lot of good oils, and a lot of our illnesses manifest in oil. The fatty acids like Parkinson's disease or MS, these are oil-based fatty acid diseases. So to eat good seed oils is excellent for health. You also get to optimize cell membrane function. Every cell membrane is predominantly omega-6 seed oil. So to eat the omega-6 helps your membranes be optimized. It also helps you protect from the environment because when you eat the seeds, you're flushing out the toxins. Toxins are stored in fat tissue. It enhances the immunity, and if you choose the right seeds, you get anti-inflammation. You also get anti-aging medicine because the seed is full of DNA and RNA. You know, the seed is nothing but an envelope to prepare the next generation of plant. So when you eat the seed, you get the DNA and the RNA. We call that transgenetics. We actually get DNA from the food we eat, and if you eat the seeds, you're getting a whopping dose of the DNA. So what we find is that if you eat the seeds, and I tell people, if you eat the seeds, I can help you be on less medication. And that's what people are interested in America, how to be on less medication. So if you choose anti-inflammatory seeds, then you need less pain medication. If you choose seeds which lower blood sugar, then you need less diabetes medication. So if you include seeds in your diet, you're getting the best that nature has to offer. The one medication you cannot get off if you take seeds, birth control pills, because it'll make you more fertile to eat the seeds. Stabilizes hormones. This is my father at 62. Healthy, active, no medications, busy, but he had white hair. After 6 months of eating the product Soul that I gave Tom, we see his hair is coming in black 30 years later at 92. So this is what I mean by if you eat the organic non-GMO seeds, you're getting genetic anti-aging benefits. You're buffing up your own DNA. My mother, I saw some black coming up in the front. You know, most of the circulation is in the back. This is where we typically don't lose our hair if we go bald. And in fact, when I looked under the hood and back, coming in black after eating the seeds. So you can go and get fancy hormones, you can get growth hormone, you can do all the stuff, but why not just eat the seeds? Again, they have to be organic and non-GMO. Aging, we understand aging to be a side effect of inflammation. So because the seeds we're dealing with today are anti-inflammatory seeds, we find that it's an excellent remedy for aging. The inflammatory response is the triggering mechanism that leads to tissue damage. So the new term now is inflammaging. So nobody wants to age, so we have to shut down inflammation. And if you feed your genes optimally, then we have this genetic restoration, which I gave you 2 examples of. Now, but again, they have to be organic, non-GMO, glyphosate-free, because the seed is where we store toxins if you're a plant. Now, we throw away the seeds because they're bitter and they're encased in a husk. This is not rocket science to solve that problem. You just add natural sweeteners like ribose or xylitol, and you grind the husk into such tiny fragments that it's now bioavailable. Paracelsus, the great 14th century physician, said life comes from life. If you want to be alive, you have to eat living foods. And we know that light is what creates life. So the next part of this talk, I'm going to show you how seeds are the antenna through which light comes and becomes matter in the plant. And when we're eating food, we're eating light. We're light beings. So we need an antenna to receive the light. This is an MRI of a seed husk. And it's an extraordinary picture because it shows in a certain sense that this is the guardian angel around the seed. I'll talk a lot about the husk because many of us use extracted seed oils. Those are great, but you're missing the most nutrient-dense part of the seed, which is the husk, often thought to be not bioavailable, but if you grind it into fine powder, you can. So the seed concentrates light into the seed oil. Light is always held in oil. This is the double bond, which is the imponderable in chemical carbon structures. And the seed needs to be understood not just as nutrient density, but also as an imploding energy coming in, multi-step power generating vortex. This is an energy factory for the plant. And that's why you can have the seed dormant for 1,000 years and it still sprouts. It's stored energy. The energy in a light bulb, we understand, goes out, but the seed absorbs the energy. It's a battery for energy. We see the Fibonacci sequence. We see these sunflower seeds. They're structured in a way to receive the light. And here we see in each of the seeds the little antennae, the flower that brings that energy in, the light energy in. Here's a story of the seed husk. Imagine being able to store vitality and life for 2,000 years dormant. This was discovered in Israel. And it sprouted. An extinct date palm sprouted from seeds that had been dormant for 2,000 years. I was impressed until I watched this. These seeds were discovered in Siberia, in frozen tundra, carbon dated to be 32,000 years old, and they sprouted. I'm telling you, if you take the extracted seed oils, you're missing the most magical part of the seed, which is that husk. The seed extrudes minerals, glycoproteins to protect it. So in the right ground up seed formula, you have tiny little fragments. I think of them as stars at night inside the seed mixture, into the liquid. And each of those fragments is radiating this protection. The seed husk is like the guardian angel of the seed. And part of the reason that this can be preservative-free, the product soul and core, is that you have the tiny fragments of the husk, each working to protect the seed oil. So the husk is the guardian angel. It's also full of beta-1,3 glycan. It's full of D-mannose, polymannose.
Excuse me, just what does husk mean?
It's the outside of the seed. It's this.
It's not the hard part? It's the
Inside is the meat.
It's,
Outside is the shell.
it's the shell?
Yeah. You can't eat the. You can't eat the shell of the walnut, for example, to my knowledge. But a lot of seeds, you can eat the husk. Like the watermelon seed. You know, if you bite it, it's white on the inside, black on the outside. The black on the outside of the watermelon seed is the husk. Edible, but bitter. So what is wrong with this picture? We have seedless jam. You see, today in America, everyone's going away from seeds, seedless watermelon. So it looks anemic compared to the real watermelon. And the watermelon seeds are full of protein and unsaturated fatty acids. We know that if you're going to eat pineapple, the most nutrient-dense part of the pineapple is the skin. There is 40% by weight more bromelain in the core and the peel. This is what we should be eating right here. But instead we eat all the sugar. In the orange skin has twice as much vitamin C as the flesh of the fruit. But we don't eat the orange skin. We should. See, human beings, we eat the wrong thing. We eat what's sweet. This is the ideal meal. Not just eating the avocado, but also eating the pit. You see, here is the outside husk, skin, and here is the flesh of the seed. We also drink seeds, as you know. So the take-home message is, don't simply eat the seed, eat the whole seed. And I'll show you about doing that. Now, we know that all chronic degenerative illnesses from A to Z, asthma, back pain and so forth, gout, all the way down to zits, is driven by inflammation. And so all chronic illnesses are made worse by inflammation, and we have a dietary way to intervene much better than medicine, which is to take, number one, the best anti-inflammatory is water, good water, away from meals. And then we see in May of 2015, the premier journal in psychiatry said, inflammation drives all psychiatric illnesses, depression, schizophrenia, anxiety, all neurocognitive illnesses. We call it neuroinflammatory peptides, which are like static. We can't think and our mood is disrupted. And so all of these illnesses, fatigue, post-traumatic stress disorder, they're all made worse by inflammation. But the doctors in psychiatry are reluctant to tell people to take an aspirin for their depression, because then they might take 20 aspirin and then they would bleed out. So the psychiatrists know this, that they need to be teaching people about anti-inflammation, but they don't know how to tell them how to do it in a safe way. There's so many overdoses and deaths from Tylenol every year.